My speaker friends, stop sucking up to the audience. I'm actually not kidding. The typical cliche speaker goes up there and says, you guys are better than you think you are. You can be bigger than ever because you're so great. And they just suck up to the audience. Motivational speakers and business speakers, frankly, do this all the time. I'm telling you, it's the wrong approach. What people are looking for, what organizations that pay you, more importantly, are looking for is improvement. Incremental improvement for sure, but improvement, increased sales, market share, customer service, team building, culture, whatever your topic might be, you've got to let them know what they need to do to get to the next level, because that's why you're there. You're the expert, and that means you can't suck up to them. I will give you just one example after doing 25 years of turnarounds with mid-performing teams to low-performing teams. I've also worked with high-performing teams, but I ended up, because I'm willing to tell the audience based on research, based on data, based on evidence that our team gathered months in advance of the speech, I've always been willing to tell them exactly what we found and what they should do about it. That's why we were able to charge millions of dollars per client, because we found the problem, we offered solutions, and we were willing to tell them that instead of lying to them and just pumping them up with false hope. So I'll give you an example. I was working one time in Toronto. I won't tell you the company because I don't have permission, but I was working with a very small audience with an executive team. We had about 20 people in the room, and it was a big board table, a really oversized board table. This is the executive team of the whole company. This is a multi-billion-dollar company. And so they brought the executive team in, and we were doing a turnaround. And we did about 6 months of research and preparation for this. So I stood up in front of the table in the first, 30 seconds of the speech, and I said, I'm here to deliver the results. And they're not good. And I want you guys to know, I'm going to give it to you straight. I'm going to give you possible answers based on our experience working with companies just like yours all over the world with a massive track record of success. You're not going to like what I'm about to say, just so you know. There's a guy sitting to me who's on the executive team who's been there for about 30 years. He's the best friend of the president of the company. He's sitting right to my left, and I'm standing right in front of a board table. There's no stage. There's, again, 25 people in the room. It's a tiny, tiny room. And so I delivered the first part. I said, here's what I'm going to tell you, that our team, any team that does turnarounds with companies that are underperforming, which yours clearly is, which is the reason you hired me, okay? Any team would tell you that knows what they're talking about, okay? I said, if I was to acquire, controlling shares in this company, I would sell it off for parts, because you don't have a team. You've got thousands of individual people. By what they told us in the research, this is not my opinion, this is what they told us. 78% of your people said you have a toxic culture. They don't want to go to work. They only go there because you pay them, and you do pay them quite a bit, which is good. It's the only reason they're there. You're lucky. You're paying them a lot, okay? Sorry, we've got a helicopter going over the mansion here. But they come over about this time every day. I think it's a traffic helicopter. So that's what I said. So I said, I would sell your company off for parts, because it's going to take so much to fix this broken, toxic culture. I don't know if it would be worth the time or money. I personally wouldn't be willing to do it. The guy to my left stands up, and he's about 6'6". I'm 6'2", 220. This guy's about 6'6", about 300 pounds. And he gets right in my face. He says, who do you think you are? And he's all red. And, if you're a guy and you've ever been hit before, you know when a guy's about to hit you. And he was about to hit me. And I'm not that small of a guy, but he was quite a bit bigger. And the first thing I thought was to cover up. Then I thought, no. He hits me and knocks me out. This will be the greatest speaker story that ever lived, and I'll be able to tell it for the rest of my life. That's how sick and twisted I have become as a speaker. But he got right in my face, and he was screaming at me about how I was insulting the company, and I'm bullying the executive team, and all these things. And I just looked at him, I waited for him to stop, and the whole, including the president, no one knew what to do. They just froze. And I said, are you finished? He said, yes, I'm finished. I said, then sit down and calm down. He sat down, and I said, look, guys, I'm not here to bully anyone. You can relax. That's not why I came here. Okay, I'm not a bully. I am delivering objective reality to an executive team that's swimming in delusion. That's why you're paying me. If you want to run this company into the ground, you're the executive team. You probably own more shares in this company, than obviously the most shareholders. Your whole future is probably riding on this, not mine. I'm going to get on a plane and go home to Atlanta, in a few hours, and I'm going to be just fine. Okay, I don't ever have to work another day of my life. But I think you probably want to hold on to this company. It's not going to impact me, so I'm not beating you up. I'm delivering objective reality. If you want to change it, change it. If you don't, God bless you. Tell me right now and I'll leave. But let's stop with the hysterical anger, okay? Because we're not 10 years old. This is not 4th grade. And I looked right at the guy and I thought, just come on, man, knock me out. This will be the best speaker story ever. But he did, and he calmed down. To his credit, he calmed down. And then the rest of the story is we spent the next 6 hours dissecting the problems based on our proprietary research, and then how we would solve those problems step by step in increments in a way that made sense to turn that company around. And that's what we spent the next 3 years doing. And the company, was well on its way within about, 18 months or so, because they looked at objective reality. So here's my point of this whole thing. Don't waste your life delivering nonsense to audiences, sucking up to them, telling them, being a cheerleader. If you're going to be a cheerleader, get a skirt and pom-poms and go around telling people they're all wonderful, okay? Most companies are underperforming. They don't need nonsense. They don't need rah-rah. They don't need motivation when they're not even performing at their potential. They need help. They need guidance. They need leadership. They're starving for leadership. That's why they pay us thousands and thousands of dollars per hour to come in as experts and help them solve problems they can't solve. If they could solve those problems, they would already have solved them. Something to think about.